Steven Ruderman here with your Insomniac Lunatic Friends Giants postgame show. Oh, just a really tough loss for the Giants. And really, this was the 30th game of the year for the Giants here on the last day of April 30th, 2026. Really the toughest loss of the season for the Giants. The Giants scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. The Phillies got a run on a home run by Kyle Schwarber off Logan Webb with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. It was Webb's best start of the year, but it was nevertheless still a very shaky start. 7 innings, 7 hits, just 1 run. He walked 2, struck out 6. But the Giants' offense wasted big opportunities in the 5th, 8th, and 9th. And then Tony brought in Ryan Walker after Eric Miller, who really should be the closer right now. Of course, we don't have Randy Rodriguez. He's out for the year. He had Tommy John surgery last August. Jose Butto most likely out for the year. He brought in Ryan Walker. Of course, Walker blew the save in D.C. Back on the 18th. And I said that he should never, ever, as Vinny's calling me, Vinny, watch my post game. Vinny Shestodi, everyone. I said he should never say, close another Major League game again. And he got the saves in the first 2 games against the Dodgers. But Tony brings him in the save situation here today. He's in the bottom of the 9th. And the thing is with Walker's, you could tell he's scared when he's out there. So base hit by Adolis Garcia. He does get Brandon Marsh looking. Then Bryson Stott lines a triple down the right field line, and credit to Stott legging out the 3-bagger. Giants played the infield in. Edmundo Sosa grounded out to second, and then Justin Crawford with a ground ball deep into the hole at short. Adames tried valiantly to make the long throw, and even the great shortstop Willie Adames couldn't beat Justin Crawford's speed, and the Phillies win it by a final of 3-2. So the Giants have now lost the first 2 games of this 3-game series. The Phillies, of course, won the opener 7-0, and that came after they fired Rob Thompson. Funny thing about that, when the Phillies got off to their really bad start in 2022, they fired Joe Girardi, and they fired Girardi after their series against the Giants, Memorial Day, May 30th through June 1st. Funny thing is the Giants won the first 2 games of that series, but the Phillies won the last game. And then the Phillies fired Girardi and went with Rob Thompson, who, of course, took him to the World Series, took him to the NLCS the following year in 2023, and then division titles in 24 and last year 25, though each of the last 2 years they were shown the door in the NLDS, and 24 to the Mets and last year to the Dodgers. And prior to this series, the Phillies, who were off to, you would see an uncharacteristic 9-19 start, but what it really is the Dave Dombrowski crash. They fire Thompson, and funny thing, the Red Sox, they're in complete shambles. And we just had the 21st Century Boston Massacre on Saturday when the Red Sox fired Alex Cora and 5 or 6 other coaches. The Phillies offered Cora 2 days after his firing on Monday the managerial job. He said no, so they're going with Mattingly, who came over after being the hitting coach for the Blue Jays to be, I think, the bench coach of the Phillies. And Don Mattingly, this is the 3rd team that he has managed, though I think he's the interim manager. Of course, with the Dodgers from 2011 to 2015, and with the Marlins from 2016 to 2022. This guy's, the guy's a great hitting coach, knows the art of hitting, but the guy's never been a particularly good manager. I mean, he had a very rude welcome to managing way back on July 20th, 2010, when Bruce Bochy caught his accidental second trip to the mound. Remember, he went back on the mound, and the Giants came back and won that game. And I think it was Jonathan Broxton, and he had to pull Broxton and Tim McClellan, and who was a great umpire. I think they misapplied the rule there. But anyway, the Giants came back and won the game. I think what it is he has to face the next batter, and then the manager's toss. They made him pull Broxton right there. Or wait, was it? I think it was Broxton who came in. I should remember this. Anyway, anyway, that was Don Mattingly's welcome to managing. The Dodgers got off to a horrendous start in 2013, and he was about to be shown the door, but they got white hot, and they ended up having went on a 42-8 stretch and ended up winning the division. But then after exits in the division series in 14 and 15, he was shown the door, and that decisive Game 5 of the NLDS against the Mets in 15, Andre Ethier was yelling at him. Not a really good look. Guy's never been the best manager, but sometimes with a team like the Phillies, all you need is a change in scenery. Now, look, the Phillies are aging. Bryce Harper, last year, saw a sharp decline in his batting average. Harper's hitting .268 this year. Last year, Harper hit .261. Harper's 33 years old. He's probably past his prime. He's hitting .268 this year, going 1 for 4 today. Schwarber is hitting .196, but he's always been a sub-200 hitter. Though his home run today, by the way, was his 350th career home run. The guy, how old is he? I think he was born in 1990. No, he was born in 93, so he's 33, so he could feasibly hit the 500 club. But Bryce Harper is most likely in decline. He's 33 years old. And with that being the case, he is the biggest bat in the Phillies lineup. That's going to lead to problems for Phillies down the line. And it, gets back to my point about the Dave Dombrowski crash. A lot of Dombrowski's cores age really quickly. Bryson Stott, who hit 280 in 2023, 245 in 24, 257 last year, is hitting 220, or I'm sorry, he's hitting 214 through 24 games this season. Now, Brandon Marsh is off to a great start. He's hitting 296. Trey Turner, though, off to a really rough start. And Turner went 0 for 4 with a hat trick today. Trey Turner, who he's what I think about 33 as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's 32, will be 33 on June 30th. He's now declining as well. His lowest average ever was, in a full season, was his 266 average in 2023, and his second lowest average in a full season other than that was his 271 season in 2018. He's hitting 246. His strikeout numbers are also way up. He struck out 27 times this year. That's, of course, he had 3 strikeouts today. And, this guy could have well over 100 strikeouts. He struck out 150 times in his disappointing 2023 season, but only struck out 107 times last year. He's going to strike out well more than 107. Really could see a career high in strikeouts this year. And that's the thing. Guys like Harper and Trey Turner, they're getting up in age. Got a disappointing start from start. You got Harper and Trey Turner declining. And I think it's quite possible the Phillies' best days are behind them. And that's generally, as I said, the core will rapidly age. That's what generally happens under Dave Dombrowski. Going back to the Giants, Elliot Ramos, a 3 for 4 day today. Continuing to swing the bat well, he's hitting 286. Matt Chapman, 2 for 4 day, hitting 281. Luis Arias, an 0 for 4 today, getting his average down to 304. Casey Schmidt, 2 for 4. He's hitting 295. Rafael Devers. Mike Krukow said yesterday that he's the one guy pitchers don't respect. Rafi went 0 for 4 today. He's hitting 203. Willie Adames, who after a terrible first week and a half of the season had a great week 3 weeks ago, has since continued what has been a pretty horrid start to 2026. He went 0 for 3. He's now under the Mendoza line at 197. Jung Hoo Lee, an 0 for 4 day. He's hitting 290. For whatever reason, Gerard Encarnacion got the start today. 0 for 3. He's hitting 200. Drew Gilbert, of course, struck out looking in a pinch hit at bat later in the game. He's hitting 237. He's going to need to go back down and get some more seasoning, though I believe he will play a big part of the team as the season goes on. Patrick Bailey, 1 for 4. He's hitting 149. And with Bailey's 1 for 4, I will ask, as I pretty much do on every edition of the Insomniac Lunatic Fringe, why aren't we calling up Jesus Rodriguez? Why are we letting him languish in Sacramento? Bring him up, Buster. I almost said bring him up, Farhan, because I'm used to Farhan making these kind of boneheaded front office decisions. Buster, bring him up. All right. Well, I may have forgot to mention that loss was the first game of a doubleheader, and the Giants, they're about to get underway again. And I have got some great news. Adrian Hauser's on the mound. Oh, lovely. Tim Mesa, the left-hander for the Phillies, is going to go. First pitch is, I think, in about 9 minutes. All right, this has been a presentation of the Insomniac Lunatic French has been a presentation of sports radio service for my boss, Lee Leonard. I am Stephen Ruderman. I hope you enjoyed the show. Giants and Phillies about to get underway. Hopefully Adrian Hauser proves me wrong. Enjoy the game, everyone.